This is Bill and Barry's low-budget podcast. Now, I don't reckon I know what a podcast is, but whatever it is, this here is one. And now, two fellers that make a cow go oink and a pig go moo, Bill Watt and Barry Patilla.
Yes, indeed. From beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida, I am Barry Patilla.
I'm Bill Watt, coming to you live from Jasper, Alabama.
Beautiful Jasper, Alabama. Yes, indeed.
Scenic Jasper, Alabama.
It really is. It really
you know,
is.
Barry,
And historic.
Every town in the country, every town in the U.S. of A. always has historic downtown.
Yeah, you see the signs pointing to historic downtown wherever. And, of course, Jasper is no exception with a historic downtown with many fine historic buildings.
And they've done a beautiful job with downtown Jasper.
They really have. You know, in the past few years, you know, there was a time in downtown Jasper where at 5 o'clock there was nothing. You might get the occasional car passing through by mistake because there was nothing going on downtown. It was just somebody going from point A to point B. Now you got fine dining, you got restaurants, you got a nightlife, you got some good things happening in downtown Jasper. I'm proud of you guys.
Indeed.
Not that you had anything to do with it, but I'm proud of the people who did have something to do with it.
I didn't have one darn thing to do with it.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
But you can take credit for it.
I certainly will. So how are things there in Panama City? PCB?
Well, you know, it's a little bit of a lull. It's been, you know, normally between spring break and the summer tourist season, there's a little bit of a break. But the powers that be here, you know, they're good at making sure that there's something going on every weekend. Which is a good thing for the local businesses or whatever, because normally this would be a little lull right here. But you got, we had the motorcycle shindig, the Thunder Beach motorcycle thing where thousands of motorcycles descend upon the city. We had that a couple of weeks ago. We got the Jeep Fest coming up, which is, of course, folks coming in with thousands of Jeeps. And had the Seabreeze Jazz Festival, which is very nice. A lot of big-name jazz stars every year for that. That's huge. I mean, people actually come from all over the country, all over the world for the Seabreeze Jazz Festival. It's really a big deal.
Do you still have your chopper?
I have a chopper, a motorcycle, and a chopper is in a helicopter. So which one are you referring to?
I'm talking about because you mentioned a big bike kind of thing going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of bikers in town.
Right.
And I know that you've, I think in your past, one of your past lives, you were a biker. And I
was a biker, yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah. I had a moped. And most of the folks that come into town don't have the pedals, so I was kind of proud to have the pedals to kind of get it going for the engine to start. And got a lot of stares. I'm assuming they were admiring stares from the motorcycle folk.
Kind of hard to keep up on a moped, right?
It's I mean, I think they were. I was checking the rearview mirror, and they were like, they were impressed with the speed of this 50cc moped. It was very, very impressive. It really was.
You know, I never did have the motorbike, but I did have years ago. I did have when I had a bike. I think I was probably about 11 or 12, and had a bike that had a little Vroom motor on it. You know,
really,
had a battery operated motor. You know, I mean, it was very impressive.
Wow, and if you didn't have that, we had the on our bicycles. You know, we had the you cut up a little bit of a plastic milk jug, and use a clothespin to put it on, and it would the spokes would make a noise. You know, as you were going, it's like an engine or whatever. That was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah, that also, and also, well, speaking of that, you could also use playing cards.
Yeah,
on your spokes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was sad, though. I know the Union troops came through and stole your bike.
Yeah,
it was really,
right. That's right.
It was a sad day, Bill. I'm sorry.
Damn Yankees!
Hey, I was noticing something in the news that I found interesting, and this is kind of a, I know we're here for fun and frivolity, but this is kind of a serious news story.
We need some serious music here. If there's some serious stuff here.
If you'd show up for rehearsal once in a while, you'd know that I don't have time. Just when you mention something that I can.
Do I need
pull
to
it out of the hat.
like hum in the background or something?
No, this is a serious news story. There have been apparently a number of NASA scientists that have been killed or have died.
I've read about that.
It's very strange. In 2025, there was a single vehicle crash in Walker County, there where you are, where I'm from, that claimed the life of a Huntsville man. Apparently, this Huntsville man turned out to be a NASA scientist. And so now, and I think it was actually maybe reported missing. They can't figure out why he was in Walker County, why he was down this way.
Well, that's certainly what comes to people's minds as to why he'd been in Walker County.
Well, it's true. It's just very strange. So they think that there's something going on. As a matter of fact, now federal authorities and Congress, they're all looking into this, and there's there's something going on. And I guess there's going to be an investigation, or there is an investigation, trying to figure out what the deal is. Because it's very, very odd. Because it's like 20 some odd, I think, NASA scientists that have gone missing or died or whatever. It's very strange. Very strange.
Well, they've also recently released the UFO files, have they not? Did they not release the UFO files over the weekend?
They have released the UFO files. I've not had a chance to go over them. I will find it very interesting because there are a lot of the UFO sightings since the 1940s were explained away, and I guess experimental aircraft and that sort of thing. But there are a number of them that were not explained. They didn't. The government didn't know what in the world they were. They still don't know what they are. And a lot of this information has been made public, and I find that very interesting.
The Bermuda Triangle. Of course, I teach here at a community college, and a lot of. Over the years, it's been a while, but over the years, I've had several student speeches on the Bermuda Triangle. Ooh. And they're awful. They're usually awful speeches. But,
are they really? For example, tell us a little about what they're saying about the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, they try to explain it, and it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, when you were in college, you did a paper on Montezuma's Revenge, didn't you?
Montezuma's Revenge is a real thing now.
I know it is. Absolutely it is. Yes.
Do you know the story of Montezuma's Revenge?
No, I don't know. See, I was just trying to make a quick joke, and here we are. You're going to go get into some deep whatever. Yeah, let's
Well, you see, Montezuma II, who was an Aztec, Aztec chief, the Aztec over the Aztecs, and this is around the early, 16th century, 16th century, around that time period.
Yes.
When Hernan Cortez came over to the New World and trekked across Mexico, but he attacked the Aztec capital, which is now Mexico City, right?
Okay.
And anyway, but Montezuma II was in charge then, and he actually supposedly drank 50 cups of chocolate a day. And 50 cups of chocolate a day will, of course, cleanse you.
Okay.
And that's where the phrase Montezuma's Revenge supposedly came from.
Yeah. Montezuma II also created the beef and bean burrito, I understand. Is that right?
I don't know that he did that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting your information about the bean and beef burrito. Is that some sort of Taco Bell legend?
No, I didn't know there was a Taco Bell legend, but maybe there is. I don't know. I'll have to.
Hey,
maybe on their website, I'll check and see.
By the way, I think we need to point out to people that we do have closed captioning for this show.
Yes, closed captioning, because that's something that I think is now required for a program. So we have a new closed captioning sponsor.
We do indeed. It's the Saragossa Hearing Center.
Yes.
And they're most kind to provide the closed captioning for the Bill and Barry broadcast.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. And as they say, hearing is important so you can keep up with what the neighbors are doing. So Saragossa Hearing Clinic providing the closed captioning for the Bill and Barry low-budget podcast.
By the way, Barry, in a study, this is, I'm not making this up, this is an actual study. A study by the Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation. There is such a thing, apparently.
Okay.
The Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation.
Smell and Taste Treatment Research Foundation?
The Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation. Get it right, okay?
Okay, got it. Go for it.
The Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation.
Sure.
The scent women found most arousing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The scent women found most arousing was Good and Plenty candy.
What?
Good and Plenty candy mixed with cucumber.
Wow. That's odd. So what do? They just come up with these, it's like a blind taste test where they don't know what they're smelling, maybe?
Did you say Did you say a blonde taste test?
Blind.
Okay, all right. But yeah, I'm assuming
Because that's an odd combination, I would think.
That is an odd combination. The smell of Good and Plenty candy, mixed with cucumber. Wow. I don't know if anybody's come up with a certain product that has that scent, but apparently that is something that, guys, just splash a little Good and Plenty candy, somehow get, I don't know if you want to melt that down and then
I don't know, maybe
mix it with some cucumber and then let that cool and
make a fine deodorant scent,
Yeah.
What's your favorite scent, Billy?
My favorite scent?
Your favorite smell?
Well, I got to tell you, I think starting the day with the smell of coffee brewing.
I love the smell of coffee or the coffee beans, even if you just open up the can or whatever. I love the smell, but I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee, but I love the smell of it brewing or whatever. That's odd, isn't it?
That is odd. Well, that's not surprising.
I think my favorite smell might be what I'm smelling right now. I got barbecued ribs in the crock pot, and that's a pretty good smell. That'd make a fine deodorant. That'd make a fine deodorant or aftershave right there. Barbecue ribs.
Yeah, it would. It would.
I think the ladies would come a-running. Or maybe they'd run in the other direction. One or the other, I don't know, but still.
Well, I can't imagine, maybe I can imagine how a woman would respond to the smell of barbecue.
Well, it depends on their appetite, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it would.
Yeah.
Or maybe splash a little barbecue and some potato salad.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, a little potato salad behind one ear, a little barbecue sauce behind the other ear. Man, that's it'd be like a picnic all the time,
Stop it! You're making me hungry.
Ooh, child. You're not licking behind my ears, Bill. So I don't know what you're thinking or what you're getting at, but you're not.
You had to go there.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. You're not doing it. Sorry. Oh, by the way,
have you heard this? That Alka-Seltzer will not make a seagull explode.
See, that's always been like the tale you hear that if a seagull gets hold, why you would want to give a seagull
I don't know what prompts somebody to want to do that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So apparently it's not dangerous though for the seagull, correct?
No, but apparently they prefer Maalox.
And that won't cause them any harm.
No.
I've been out on like the Sea Screamer, which is a fast boat for like a dolphin tour. Sea Screamer, and they give you crackers, and you just hold your arm up, and the seagulls will come up and just grab the crackers out of your hand. They'll fly over the boat because it's and so. But what I was thinking about doing one day, and I guess there's no need now. Instead of the cracker, I'll switch it for an Alka-Seltzer tablet, but no point now to do that. That was terrible. I should have said that. I would never do so. And I don't encourage you to do that either. If you're listening at home, listening in your car, wherever you're listening, don't ever try that. That's a horrible, horrible thing. Hey, Bill, did you see where Kellogg's cereals, the Kellogg Company, they've announced they are including toys with some of their breakfast cereals for the first time in more than a decade. Was that not fun when you were a kid? You get the toy out of the cereal box. That was a big deal.
It's interesting you should bring up cereal, Barry. Absolutely, Barry, because it was always a big deal to get a cereal and get a prize.
Yeah,
it's like the Cracker Jacks box.
Sure, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, and Corn Pops will have plastic toys shaped like characters from the Disney and Pixar Toy Story 5, which is coming in June. To a theater, so Toy Story 5. So that's pretty cool. My favorite toy from my youth, from the cereal, I think it was Captain Crunch, the peanut butter Captain Crunch. Had a little submarine, and you would put baking powder or baking soda or something in it, put it in the water in the bathtub or whatever, and it would dive and come back or what. I forget exactly how it worked, but that was a really cool cereal toy.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's interesting you should bring up cereal, because I've got here a little background on some cereals and some failed projects they had years ago in trying to sell certain products.
Right.
Let me give you an example.
Go for it.
Cream Crunch.
Cream Crunch?
Yeah, Cream Crunch.
Oh, I'm now see you mentioned Cream Crunch, and I'm like, if it's a cream, how does it crunch? Go for it.
This is Kellogg's Cream Crunch.
Okay.
1965. Kellogg's tried to introduce this Cream Crunch. It was a breakfast cereal filled with real bits of freeze-dried ice cream.
Really?
Wasn't a hit though.
No, apparently not. Jeez.
Wasn't a hit.
Cream Crunch.
They had a little ice cream cone dressed as a soda jerk on the front of the box.
Soda jerk.
Yeah.
The ice cream cone was a soda jerk.
Captain Crunch's Airheads Berries.
Airheads is a candy, a popular candy, so I guess it was a tie-in with that somehow. So it was Captain Crunch, but it had Airhead thingies in there, I guess.
Yep, Quaker teamed up with Airheads Candy in 2003.
Yeah.
To produce fruity cereal berries and the candy's flavors. And as a Quaker employee said at the time, kids who love Airheads candy and love Captain Crunch cereal are going to love this combination.
Let me guess, they didn't.
No, it sucked.
Apparently
it
not.
Sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked big time.
Didn't do well. All right.
And then talk about disgusting. Speaking of Captain Crunch,
Yeah.
Captain Crunch's Ship Shake liquid cereal.
No. I don't even like
Gotta
thinking
watch how
about
you
it.
say that too. Ship Shake liquid cereal.
Yeah. So it's just a cereal you drink?
Late 60s, for whatever reason, they thought the spoon was about to become obsolete. I don't know why.
Wow.
But they introduced a powdered liquid cereal drink mix.
Oh, my goodness. So it's not even mixed already. You got to mix it yourself.
Now, God, it's disgusting.
No. Yeah, that sounds
Marketers
disgusting.
thought that chocolate malt, and butterscotch flavors would have them flying off the shelf.
Nah, didn't work, did it?
No, it didn't. They sucked.
Wow. That's horrible. What's your favorite cereal, Billy?
Not that I like cereal much anymore, but usually we'll go for Cheerios.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the grains we need.
Those are healthy.
Red grains we need.
Those are healthy, and I agree with you there. I like to eat healthy cereal to start the day. So my favorite is peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Oh, well.
I like to eat healthy.
You think of healthy, you think of Captain Crunch.
Absolutely. You get that, and you get 5-6 pieces of greasy sausage, and yeah, it's. But I drink some healthy orange juice with it, so that makes it okay.
Well, and also they had, remember Urkel?
Did I do that? Yeah, I remember.
Family
Urkel.
Matters?
Family Matters.
1991. Urkel got his own cereal.
Yeah.
Boxes of strawberry and banana flavored loops.
Yeah. Urkel Loops.
Yep. Yeah, well, it bombed. It bombed.
Yeah. I really wasn't a fan of Family Matters. Not that that's what we're talking about here, but he wasn't a main character at first. He was like a guest star, and then he was so popular they made him the star of the show.
I never watched it. I never watched the show.
Had the cop from the Bruce Willis thing, Die Hard. You know, the cop that was down on the ground talking to him or whatever. He was the dad on the show. You know.
Yeah. I don't care.
I noticed you don't care, but I care. It's very important.
I really don't care.
All right. Well, you're going to be on Jeopardy or some game show one day. They're going to ask that question, and you're going to wish you cared and wish you'd paid attention.
Well, that's how much Jeopardy sunk.
You'll lose you'll lose a lot of money. So.
Are you familiar with gruel?
I've heard. That's a good question, Bill. Thanks. I've heard of gruel. I don't know exactly what it is.
This was what 19th century orphans ate.
Yeah, see, is that what the little boy and the may I have more, please, or whatever he said?
I mean, Charles Dickens apparently hated it.
Yeah. Well,
But
most people probably did.
But all it takes is water, grain, and a heat source.
Well, it was so cheap to produce. I'm sure that's why they fed it to the kids. I mean, it's almost nothing.
You're just a bowl away from gruely deliciousness.
Wow. Man, I think we need to go back to gruel. I think the schools should start back serving gruel.
All it takes is 1 pint of water and 1.25 ounces of oatmeal. Boil the oats in the water, then allow the mixture to simmer for half an hour.
Wow. But see, the thing is, that's all they ate. I mean, there wasn't much more for them to eat. So I imagine that would get old in a hurry. Have you ever had? I mean, it sounds like oatmeal, but apparently, I guess this.
Well, I got to tell you, I thought that when I was a kid, I thought but the Quaker Oats guy, I thought he was kind of cool looking for some reason.
You mean the guy with the long weird hair? You thought he was kind of cool looking?
Yeah. Well, I thought. Well, when they made it this steaming hot bowl of Quaker Oats, it looked like it might be good, but of course it sucked. It was terrible. And I tried it. I was just I almost puked. But it was it was one of those traumatic experiences as a child.
You're also a big fan of the brawny guy, but we won't go into that.
the brawny guy, really?
Like paper towel, lumberjack paper towel guy with the plaid shirt. Yeah. So I bought a bunch of paper towels. Mom,
can we get some paper towels?
What's your obsession with paper towels, Billy?
Do you know, by the way, speaking of breakfast cereal, no, we got off of breakfast cereal.
I don't either, but apparently that's the topic of today's show is breakfast cereals. That's good.
But did you know that the Rolling Stones actually did, they were going to do a commercial for Rice Krispies?
Really?
Yeah.
They did, or they were going to?
They recorded a song for it.
Really?
Yeah. And actually the lyrics read, wake up in the morning, there's a snap around the place. Wake up in the morning, there's a crackle in your face.
Crackle in your face? Wow.
I don't know what
Did this not come to fruition or what?
I don't know, but it was a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Steely Dan did I think it was a Schlitz beer jingle. They were just starting to make it big. They had a hit record or two already, but they were approached about doing a jingle, and they recorded it, and you can find it on YouTube. It's very good, but for whatever reason, it wasn't used. But anyway,
the stuff we share with people,
stuff that really doesn't matter, but it does because it's entertaining and it's just fun to learn about this stuff.
That we have to get rid of. We have to get rid of it every once in a while. That's come out.
I hate to change the subject off of breakfast cereals. I know you're going to be upset, but this is an actual story out of Florida here. This woman, I'm not sure exactly where in Florida, a woman was arrested for DUI.
Yeah?
True story.
A DUI, okay.
She says her defense is it's not DUI because she only drank when she stopped at red lights. So she wasn't actually driving when she was drinking.
That's a new one.
So it can't be DUI because the vehicle was not moving.
Wow. Interesting point. That's not going to work in court, but
no, it's not because you got
a nice effort.
Got the open container. It's original. I'll give her that. It was a nice try.
Yeah.
Not gonna work.
I mean, obviously it's original because we're talking about her.
Well, it is. It's very interesting, and the mugshot's great too. I mean, the mugshot's what you would think it would look like.
Wow. So she stopped at a red light, took a few swigs, drove on,
and then she would drive. But she was not drinking while she was driving, right?
Wow, that's technically, I guess that's true.
A group of scientists from Australia's Griffin University and the Swedish University of Agriculture Sciences exposed 105 wild Atlantic salmon to cocaine and studied the results. Well, they wanted to study the results.
Why would you want to get salmon hooked on cocaine?
I don't know, but
what are we going to learn by getting salmon hooked on cocaine?
But apparently thousands and thousands of salmon volunteered for the project. They discovered that the fish exposed to the drugs swam nearly twice as far per week.
Wow. Go figure.
Covering up to 8 more miles than their sober counterparts.
Wow.
They swam twice as far in a week
on the cocaine.
8 miles more on the cocaine.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And they're astounded by that news.
Apparently so. I mean, you think that would be, they would know that that's, probably going to be the end result.
That reminds me, it's amazing how this reminds me of Johnny Carson one time was talking about in his monologue one night. I'll never forget this. Was talking about how in the laboratory they had experimented by putting 300 gallons of milk in mice.
Yeah.
And found out that they exploded.
Again, you would think that would be common sense, but
Yeah, but you're giving cocaine to salmon, and you're amazed by the fact that they swim another 8 miles. I mean, that they go further. I mean, what?
You would think it was common sense. You should know, but I guess they wanted to see for themselves what effect the cocaine would have. But again, no trouble finding volunteers for the study.
It seems as though, since you're bringing up stuff like that, it seems as though that we're rapidly moving back towards the 19th century.
Yeah.
As far as medicine is concerned.
Yes, we are.
RFK's taking us back, and
yes.
But I was just reading about Londoners. We may yet resort to this. But Londoners in the 1600s were advised to keep fart jars.
Fart jars?
Fart jars. These are jars that had supposedly trapped fart odors.
So you could fart right quick and then put the lid on, and then the entire house wouldn't smell like your fart because it would be in the jar.
It'd be in the jar, but here was the deal.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this smell of farts in a jar would somehow purify the air, and this would help. That would be kind of like getting a vaccine.
Yeah.
Is farting in the presence of someone who has the plague.
Well, since we are headed back in that direction, maybe we need to stock up on some canning jars before they all disappear from the store shelf.
Well, why don't we? I just had a thought. Since we're experimenting with salmon and cocaine, why don't we have maybe farts? Expose salmon to farts to see how they respond to farts.
Right. I don't think it's a good idea. Do you think the water would dilute the fart?
Well, I just think. You think the water would dilute it?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you think it might, or do you think instead of swimming faster, like the salmon did with the cocaine, maybe they would just die? They would just smell the fart and then just like, okay, I can't handle this, and that's it. I'm just wondering. Thinking out loud, but again, see that you don't know these things until you do the research. That's what the Swedes that's why they did the cocaine test. Maybe what you could do is collect some farts in a jar, head out to Walker County Lake, it may not be salmon, but some other type fish out there, a catfish or whatever, and do some little experimentation yourself there, Billy.
Maybe a little scent, perfumed scent you hang on your rearview mirror in your car.
Yes,
like fart scents.
Yeah, have a little mini mason jar.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big seller this holiday season.
I'm thinking maybe Bill and Barry fart jars.
Bill and Barry fart jars. Man, we get some of the local retailers to sell those, and then we're gonna make a fortune off that. Why don't you get to work on that? Do that research as well out at Walker County Lake with the fart jars and the fish, and report your findings to the Journal of Stupidity. See if they'll publish your report.
Have you ever heard of Arcadia College, Barry?
I have not heard of Arcadia College. Is that a college that's difficult to get into?
Well,
or you just walk through the door?
The reason I bring it up, this is true.
Yeah.
They changed it. That was not the original name for the college. It was changed in 2001.
Yeah. Well, I had red hearing what it was. Why they had to change the name?
That was because it was named Beaver College.
Beaver College. Well, and that had some problems with beavers and building dams in inappropriate places, and they said we just can't be associated with that, and they changed.
Apparently, they were getting a lot of flack about that. And there were a lot of anti-porn filters that blocked access to the school's website.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
They can't enroll the students. I can't do my online learning at Beaver College because my computer won't let me on. That could present a problem. Sure enough.
Boy, so it's understandable.
There's so many places I could go with this. I got stuff in my head, but I can't do it. It would be
no. Probably don't need
go
to
there. But Beaver College. Okay, access blocked. All right. Well, I got an incomplete because I couldn't do my work. Beaver College. All right. Hey, Bill, do you? I got something. Of course, you teach college students, right?
I do.
And remember in elementary school, you every morning you had to do the Pledge of Allegiance and stand up, and do face the flag.
Yes, I do.
You have an American flag in your classroom, right?
What now?
I said you have an American flag in your classroom there at.
No, I don't know. The classroom's really bare.
Whoa! You don't have an American flag in your classroom. Are you telling me you don't?
Not in a college classroom, Barry.
Really,
no,
you don't?
No.
Well, all right, Comrade Billy. I mean, are you like a communist or what's the deal? I don't understand why you don't have an American flag.
No, I'm not a communist. Stop being ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I mean, I just imagine
every classroom. There's not even
every classroom should have an American flag. And what I was going to say,
are you really going to go there? Are you?
What
really
I was
going to
say, what I was going to say was, just as kind of a joke one morning, do roll call and then do the pledge. But if you don't have an American flag in there, you can't do that. I think that'd be hilarious. Yeah, maybe you can get your Canadian flag and bring it in or something. I don't know. Spent a lot of time in Canada in the early 70s, didn't you?
Sure did.
I'm kidding, of course. Kidding, of course.
Hey, you know that the sum of all the numbers on a roulette wheel, do you know what the number is?
No. What are they?
666.
Really? That explains a lot.
It does explain a lot.
Hey, Bill, do you like this Neil deGrasse Tyson fella? You know, he's a scientist, one of the smartest people on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
I'm familiar with him.
Follow him on the Facebook. And, he was one of the people, I guess, primarily responsible for Pluto, the planet being downgraded. It's no longer considered a planet. So we only have like 8 planets now because he says, and a lot of people, it's just a chunk of ice. But now NASA has like new photos and things showing that maybe there's more to it than just a chunk of ice. And some people at NASA and some other people are attempting to have Pluto's planetary status restored, which I think would be great. Because I was upset when it was downgraded to begin with, and I think Pluto deserves to be.
You were upset about it, really?
I was upset about it. I mean, we have 9 planets. It should be 9 planets, not 8. And you realize there might be a planet out there we haven't seen yet. There could be another planet on beyond.
Isn't there like a planet X or something beyond Pluto?
There could be. There could be. Yes.
Well, it's interesting. I just had a student do a speech about that very thing.
Really?
Yeah, did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and because it's possible that there's another planet in the solar system. We just haven't found it yet. It's so far out, you know? That's weird to think about.
But I don't really care.
See, you're not a scientific mind. You're more of a...
I am a scientific
You're more of a
mind.
Moonshine on a Saturday night kind of mind. And so
moonshine on a Saturday night.
Yeah, that's Bill.
Really?
You know, you wouldn't. Yeah. But leave the heavy thinking to the rest of us.
I get it. I had a telescope as a kid.
Yeah.
Not to watch the night sky, but yeah.
Well, I started to say, hey, looking in the neighbor's windows. Hey, come here and look at this. And then your mom found out what you were doing. She took it away from you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, telescopes are fun. And
hey, you know that situation where you kind of panic when you can't remember somebody's name?
Yeah, and they walk up to you and you're talking to them or whatever, and it's like, who? I know this person, but I don't know the name. Yeah, it's not a good situation to be in.
Especially if it's your mom, you know.
Sure, that happened to you a few times. Fortunately, you can just call her Mom, I would think.
Yeah, you always fall back on that. But
jeez, that's good. That's
but the Scots have a word for that apparently.
Really, for getting someone's name. Okay,
yeah, for getting someone's name, for panicking, having a panic attack and not remember their name.
Right.
They call it tartle.
Tartle.
Tartle. You're experiencing tartle.
Really? That's a weird word. Tartle.
That is, yeah, tartle.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Something about the word tartle offends me.
That offends you?
I don't know why. It just has a bad sound to it. I don't like it. Tartle.
Well, okay. I'm sorry I offended you.
I hate you brought it up. Tartle, though. So that's the thing where and I think everybody's probably experienced that at one time or another, where you see somebody or they come up talking to you, you can't remember who they are. You remember the face, you know them, but you can't remember the name.
Yeah, and it happens the older you get, the more people you know. That happens a lot, and people you haven't seen in a long time. And you know their face, but you don't know their name. And some people really get offended when you don't remember their name.
Well, I mean, with good reason. If it's someone that you should remember their name, then hey, there was a lady you used to work with that I think maybe you told me she pretended to forget your name one time or something.
Yes.
Yeah. That was hilarious. That was funny because it was pretty obvious. You said she remembered your name, but she was acting as though she didn't remember your name. Like maybe you're not quite as important as you know.
Well, of course I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
Yes, yes. But that was funny. Tartle, I'll have to keep that in mind because that does happen. Yeah. There's some people that you want to forget their name and just forget all about them, but you know.
That's true.
Yeah, and that
is true.
person we just mentioned is probably one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, laws on the books. You know, if you actually know some of the laws on the books in your state, I mean,
especially some of the ancient laws, the old laws, which people bring up from time to time, that should no longer be on the books.
Right. Michigan apparently has got a 1931 law that actually says, and I quote,
yes,
any man who shall seduce and debauch any unmarried woman shall be guilty of a felony.
An unmarried woman.
That's what it says.
So you can't. How are you supposed to strike up a conversation or date someone if you can't seduce an unmarried woman? Now, a married woman, you know, but not an unmarried woman. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, seduce and debauch.
And debauch is the key.
Yeah, debauch.
Are you guilty of any sort of debauchery?
No.
I'm just asking a question. Don't get offended. I just asked a question.
Shut up a second.
Obviously touched a nerve.
If convicted, the man can be punished with up to 5 years in state prison or a fine of up to $2,500.
Man, that's 1913 money or whatever it was, too. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for me now, but I mean, geez, that's crazy.
This is 1931.
Yeah,
so
well, that's what I said.
During the Great Depression.
That's what I said, 1931. You thought you heard 1913, but it's 1931.
Seduce and debauch.
Yeah,
debauch is not a word you hear much anymore.
Yeah.
Debauch.
No, it's not. It's not something that
debauchery.
Debauchery. Yeah,
yes.
I've heard of debauchery, but I've never had a chance to, use that in conversation.
Never had a chance.
I've never had a chance.
Never had the.
I've tried. Lord knows I've tried, but I've not had the occasion to practice debauchery.
You've never had.
I would love to, but I can't just find the time to do it. I'm a busy man.
I don't know what it is, so somebody tells me what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right. I don't know.
You're debauching me.
Yes. Oh,
What'd
I'm
I do?
sorry. I don't know what I did because I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's apparently a bad thing. It's not a good thing.
Well, I guess we need to wrap it up.
We're out of time, but I have a challenge for you. Billy.
A challenge for me?
Tomorrow, at work, at home, wherever, there's a word that I want you to use 10 times in conversation.
10 times in conversation. Okay,
yes.
I'll make the attempt. What is the word?
Glum.
Glum.
Yeah.
Glum.
Yeah. Well, you look awfully glum today. What's the problem? Just because that's a word no one uses anymore. I think you should try to bring it back.
Well, I've got a word I want you to use 10 times in conversation.
Oh, I'd read this. What is it?
I want you to use the word philatelist.
Philatelist.
Yes.
Well, I think I saw a Dateline the other day. The guy was practicing philately or whatever, and he was jailed for it.
Philatalism.
What is? That's a perfectly innocent thing, though.
Yes. Yeah. Philatelist.
It's stamp collecting.
It's a stamp collector.
Yeah, somebody
it sounds
stamps.
awful.
It sounds horrible. It sounds like a crime against humanity, but it's not.
But it's how you present these things. If you tell someone, say, hey, someone told me, I don't know, I can say who, but they told me that you were a closet philatelist.
And then they break your jaw and they pop you upside the head and I just bet you're a stamp collector. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it does. It sounds horrible. It really does. It sounds like a horrible word and a horrible.
And then they say, "Are you accusing me of debauchery?"
Well, actually, I was, but that's good. I'll if you'll make an honest attempt at glum, I'll try a philatelist.
Yeah,
we'll do it 10 times in conversation. That's a challenge for our listeners as well. Either or both of those 10 times in conversation. Tomorrow. All right, that's it for this edition of Bill and Barry's Low Budget Podcast. Bill, it's been fun. We'll do it again soon. Until next time, have a great day, and Bill, we'll talk to you again soon.
Ciao, man.
This has been Bill and Barry's Low Budget Podcast. This has also been a total and complete waste of your time. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be back soon with another Bill and Barry's Low Budget Podcast.